Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Stephen Alexander. Recently I cleared my OET exam in my first attempt. I gave this exam in February 2022 and I cleared it. This video is for those who are having very little amount of time. I had only 15 days to prepare for this exam. So I will not be giving detailed information regarding the pattern of the exam or the timings of the exams. I'll just tell you few tricks and a few tips that can help you to pass the exam and a few strategies that I followed. So you might be seeing so many YouTube videos. They will give you tips and they will give you tricks also, but these tips might help you, that's all. This is not the only source to you to follow. So now we will discuss about the each now we will discuss about each subtest. Okay, first listening part. So OET listening is very easiest of all the subtypes. What you can do is go to YouTube and type OET online listening videos. So there will be 1 hour length videos. At the end of the video, they will give you the answers. Just take your pen and try to do it as a mock. You will do it in the exam. They will display the question paper on the screen and the video will be playing audio also. Just try to concentrate and fill all the gaps, so that at the end of the video you can correct it and you can you can see how much you are getting right. Our target should be of 32 to 35. Listening part is very easy, and one thing is there will be depressed patient. The slang of the depressed patient might be difficult to understand. They might be using Ireland slang, so that might be very difficult to understand, but if you can find those files it is okay. But generally the exam is very easy in listening part. And another difficulty you will face is about the address and drug names. You can do one thing: go to Telegram group. You can search for OET Important files. This is the name of the group. You go in it and you search for a listening PDF. So in that listening PDF, you will have the names of the drugs. So I would suggest you to download that file and go through all the drug names once, because before the exam itself, if you are well versed with the drug names, you would be an advantage. Indian drug the drug names or brand names which you are using in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, they might be different from the drug names they are using in UK or Australia. So what I would suggest is just go through all the names and try to remember the spelling of them, because spellings are being validated in the exam. So try to look for the spellings also and try to remember the names, because if you listen to the drug name and immediately you can catch it and write it, this would be helpful. And another tip I can give you is try to listen to the videos in 1.5 to 2x. I used to listen it in 1.75 to 2x speed, so that your brain will become accommodated. For this speeds, your brain will get tuned. In the final exam, you will see that advantage definitely, because in the final exam, you will feel that audio is being played in 0.25 or 0.5 speed. Try to do it; it will be helpful for you. And the timing, I would say first 3 days of your preparation start with listening, and you can leave it from there on also. It doesn't matter, because listening part is very easy. So try to see the videos and try to follow. Try to download those PDF file and go through all the drug names and all that can help you. This is more than enough for listening. Next we will discuss about reading part. Reading requires undivided attention, so it will drain you a lot. In the exam, after reading, you should write a letter also. So try to do two subtests of reading at a time. So it would be 1.5 hours at a time, at a stretch. This can help you in the final exam also. You need to give your writing after you do reading. So try to do 2 reading subtests at a time. So I would suggest you, the resources for this will be 2 files. One is Highlander, OET Highlander file, and another one is Janshan file. These 2 files contain so many letters, so many reading mocks. Just download it and try to do it against time. Set 45 minutes. Give your undivided attention for those 45 minutes for reading, and after reading, after you write the answers, just correct the answers then and there itself. And please don't be worried, because sometimes you will not get more marks in reading also. It is very common for everybody, because to catch all those words and to understand what is given there and to find the meaning of the other what he is thinking, it might be difficult in the start. But don't be worried, because as the time progresses you will definitely improve. I would suggest you one simple trick here: try to score as maximum as you can in part A and part B. Even if you don't score well in part C also, it doesn't matter. Our minimum score should be 6 and 6, something like that. Because reading part C, you can do it one thing: first read the question, then go to the paragraph, then come to the options, and you think for yourself what is the correct answer for this. If you are not able to get the question, then go back to the paragraph and read it again. It doesn't matter. But at the end, you should complete it against 45 minutes. In the exam, you will have time displayed there. So you will be there, you will be knowing the time also. Don't be worried. So your strategy should be: try to read articles. Like don't try to read random articles, that won't help you. Try to download the articles from different websites. Like E2 language might give you some free downloads. Download them. Junction files and Highlander files, these are more than enough. Just go through the articles, and at the end of the day, if you are reading more and more articles, that would and along with the questions, your brain will automatically tune what is he trying to say in the paragraph, and what might be the question and what might be the answer. So your strategy should be downloading those 2 files and going through them as frequently as you can, and reading them as with your undivided attention. And how you can improve is, I told you to read the question first and go to the paragraph and come back to the options. Your strategy, your timings and your strategy should be like this. On a stretch, you should do 2 reading tasks. First 3 days will be for listening, next 3 days will be for reading. So in that next 3 days, try to do at least 4 early in the morning you do two mock tests of reading, evening you can do 2 mock tests of reading. Then that is more than enough. I think you can't concentrate more than 1.5 hours at a stretch. So for 3 days, if you do like that, you will have 6 papers. You will be doing at least 6 papers for 3 days. That is enough. Then as the time progresses, when you are doing other subtests, like if you are writing a letter, try to do at least one reading mock. If you are doing speaking, try to do at least 1 reading mock. That should be from your daily time. From the next 4th day onwards, you should do at least 1 or 2 per day. Next, coming to the writing task. Writing is the most difficult thing, because it depends for individual. If your English is good, if it might be easy for you. But what I did is, I was not confident in my grammar. So I downloaded E2 language, and there is a subgroup, there is a option called as E2 grammar something. So I went into it. There was 4 subtypes, 4 levels. So I started listening to the grammar classes, like knowing about the articles, the prepositions and sentence framings, verbs, when to use is, when to use was, when to use the, this, that. So I was going through everything. And most important thing, download the Highlander file, and there will be at least 152 to at least 40 to 50 pages at least. In that 40 to 50 pages, the important aspects which you will be tested in the exam will be given there. Those grammar points are very important. When to use was, the, this, that, we, were. Those are very important. Try to learn them as much as you can. What will happen is, if you start writing your letter from the day 1 without knowing the basics of the grammar, it would be a disaster and waste of time. I would suggest you one thing: just go through the Highlander file, read all the grammar paragraphs once. It would take at least 1 day or 1.5 day. Don't be worried now. Give your time for grammar. Then you go to the benchmark corrected letters. That also will be given in Junction files or Highlander. And what is the beauty of this benchmark corrected letters is, one letter, it would be written by 3 different persons. One will be scoring C, one will be scoring B, one will be scoring A. So now what you should do is, after you build up grammar, first go through all the letters, sample letters, you will come to an idea what to write in the first paragraph, what to write in the second paragraph, how to end a letter, and what should be the structure of my letter. Then try to write the letters and try to compare your letters with the corrected letters of benchmark. So this will help you a lot. You need not go to any coaching institutes or anything. Don't pay huge amounts for anybody. Just go through these letters and you can compare your letter with those who already wrote the letters. This can improve. As the time progresses, you will definitely improve. This trick will help you a lot, and this strategy also will help you a lot. And the most important thing is reading all the letters. Just be patient and read all the letters. That would be a very boring thing, but this will help you in your preparation. And reading the grammar is very important, and strategy should be from day 6th onwards. As soon as you finish reading, you give 2 or 3 days for grammar, and from the 3rd day, means after 9th day, start with your letter writing as much as you can. In the meantime, if you have time also, you start from the day 1 also, it doesn't matter, but from the 8th day or 9th day, you should be doing letter writing. If you are not doing letter writing from the initial days, it would be very difficult. At least try to write 3 letters per day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the afternoon, and try to correct them. Or you can post those letters in Facebook groups or Telegram groups, anybody, or you can find somebody, paid members, to correct your letters also. But try to write as maximum as you can, because as the time progresses only you will improve. You should write the letter how you should write them in passive sentences. You should be formal in your letter writing. You should know how to where to use the punctuations, and those all things will matter in the exam. So if you don't read the grammar PDF of Junction file or OET Highlander file, you will not come to know where to use the punctuations. It's like wasting your time without knowing the rules. So that won't help you. First, go through the grammar PDF, learn the basics of way to use the grammar and how to use the punctuations. Then you can build up your letters and you can correct them, and you can get corrected with anybody. And the next important aspect is speaking. In the speaking part, most important thing is try to practice with at least 2 partners. Go to your OT group and post you want a study partner, and at least take 2 different study partners, because this happened to me when I was practicing with the other person. Even if that fellow is having a poor language or poor slang or poor grammatical mistakes, that would reflect in my words. I used to speak like him. So later I realized that this is not working. So I changed the study partner. I was practicing with him, and and again I asked another person to join me. So like this became an advantage for me. What happened is I used to practice at least 2 role plays per one person. So with that, if you don't get anybody, try to stand in front of mirror and try to speak. Basics of speaking is speak as if you're talking to your patient. Be apologetic. Be empathetic. See how you can learn all this is go to the OET Important File section, download the PDF of speaking, and E2 PDF also. These 2 PDFs will have the structured paragraphs of what you need to use when you want to show an empathy, what you need to use when you want to give an introduction, what do you want to use when you want to do a signposting. So this important file, R file, if you download it, go through it, this will help you a lot. I want to tell you, just remember the file names, just remember the names, just remember the sentences. When you want to use a sympathetic word, just remember them. But in the exam, when you are practicing with your partner, when you're giving a mock, just don't just say it. You should say as if you mean it, or else it doesn't matter whether you say or whether you don't say. So it should modulate in your voice, because in the exam they will be testing you through a microphone itself. The one who corrects your paper, they can't see you, they can't see your body language, they'll just hear you. So your voice should be modulated according to the situation. If the patient is having pain, be empathetic, like I'm so sorry to hear that. If you modulate in your voice, that would be reflected on the audio, and the examiner can know that you are empathetic or sympathetic or some whatever. So download the files, just remember them, try to use them with your study partners by modulating, by saying as if you mean it, as if you mean it. Okay. So this is the thing I can suggest. I would end it by three things. Go to the OET Important files, download the RRR files for speaking, for writing, and for listening, and other important files will be there in the group. Try to download them and go through it. Every day should be a mock session for speaking as well as writing. So at the end, the last 4 days should be a complete mock sessions, like 2 mocks per day, all the 4 subunits, 2 mocks per day. So morning 4 hours, morning 4 hours should be for one session, evening 4 hours should be for one session, like that. Divide the last 3 days to mocks. If you have a rest day, you can give a rest day and you can go to the exam. Exam will be very easy if you try to follow this situation, if you try to follow these things. So don't be worried. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the description, or you can ask me in the comment section. I'll try to link a Google Drive link that contains these files, and I'll try to link one of the YouTube video which helped me in my preparation, Dr. Gautam. I will try to link his videos in the description or in the comment. I'll pin it in the comment box. If you have any doubt, you can message me, or you can contact me. You can message in the comment section. Thank you everyone.